Okay, so good afternoon folks. So I'm at that 12 o'clock. Here we go, BOGA in the sunshine. It's going to be great. This is our strength and mobility session. Takes about 30 to 40 minutes. And obviously after a week of good hard fizz, just need to stretch out, work on some mobility stuff. So the last few weeks we've been doing long holds, so working more on stretching. Today we're going to go back to more shorter holds, so 2 breaths rather than 30 seconds on each hold, 20 seconds on each hold. So 2 breaths, so it's a bit more working on mobility rather than a stretch. We did the stretch the last couple of weeks, we work on the mobility this week. But as always, just need to start off with a little bit of a warm up. And again, this is not a full warm up we normally do. So just jogging on the spot. This is it, last week of these. Last week of online box, and it's back to normal. So just a nice easy jog. We're just going to go through about 3/4 of these warm-up drills. And obviously some of them are actually part of the session. Yeah? Just hang on. Yeah, quick. I've already started. My session. Okay. Hold on there, just hold on, let's start again. Right, let's start again. Sorry, my wife forgot to bring her keys out, so I just had to let her in. Let's go reverse lunge and reach. Big stretch up, push the hips through at the bottom. Next one we're going to do is Jumpy Jacks. Oh, this sunshine's lovely. Sign of the times. Spring's coming, summer's coming. I like to do this session as well. Went for an amazing run this morning up around Woodingdean. 12 kilometres, massive hills, amazing sunshine and amazing scenery. It was brilliant. Okay, so this one we do squat and twist. Squat, twist to both sides. Gosh, it's a year ago when we started doing these. That's bonkers, isn't it? I think the weather was like this as well this time last year as well. Good, next one we're going to do is heel flicks. So just flicking the heels up, lean forward slightly. Splinter. It's all going to go this morning, isn't it? Okay. This side in the press up position. Step and reach. Step and reach. Don't forget to do that press up. Just carry on while I try and get the splinter out of my foot. That's because you've got it. And step, reach up. Okay, and back to a run. Friday already as well. Hope you had a good week. The penultimate weekend before the end of, semi-end of lockdown. Good, next move you're going to do is that forward lunge and twist. Good, so step and twist. You're just going to do 4 more of these. And then we get started. Hopefully you're in the sun or indoors, so you're nice and warm already. Good, next one, I'll do wide stance, squat, reach over the top. Big squat, big reach over. Next one I'm doing is leg swings. Good, and the last one, just these walkouts into a press up, walk back, stand up, big stretch. And rest there, ready to go. So we've got our 7 mobility and stretch moves. We hold each one for a minute, 20 seconds in between, then move on to the next one. So remember, we're going back to the original version of this kind of BOGA mobility stretch thing, where we just hold each move for 2 breaths, rather than the long holds we did recently. Okay? So this thing, you just do at your own pace. I'll show you what to do. If you want to make it a little bit longer, a little bit slower, or want to speed it up, that's fine. Just as long as you get the stretches, we'll explain where to do them, okay? So the first one we're going to do is our press up position, step and reach. So there's 2 places you should be, or 3 places you should be feeling a stretch. Is through your hips, your groin, when you push the hips into the floor. And then through the upper body, you lift the hand up, and through the lower back. So it should help loosen off your lower back as you rotate. Remember, with any of our sessions, if you've got one of our members and filled in a health questionnaire, just crack on. If you haven't, you do this at your own risk. You can easily download a health questionnaire. But yeah, enjoy it. Bit of a slower pace than the usual mad mental sessions we do. So here we go. So in the press up position, step and reach. So push the hips into the floor, reach up. 2 breaths. And then from here, if you want to do the press up, you don't need to. Step. Reach. Remember, holding these ones for 2 breaths this time. Step, reach. So you feel it stretch here, open it up here, and pushing the hips into the floor. Look up. Two big deep breaths or exhales. Finishing off. And ready for the next one. So our next one is that reverse lunge and reach. We always do this in a warm-up because this really helps stretch out your hip flexors. So again, exhale twice at the bottom of the move. The stretch is all here. Step backwards, reach up, put the knee down so you emphasize the stretch, push the hips through. It's always a good sign, isn't it? Big fat bumblebee over there. And change. If you can hear any creaking noises, it's not my bones or my joints. It's this roof getting heated up in the sun. And as it expands, it creaks. Big reach up, push the hips through. Here, squeeze the glutes, exhale twice. and then change. And change. So again, slightly different pace the last few times. So here, really pushing on those mobility moves. One more. Finish the move. Okay, next one we're going to stretch out through the abs. So back in the press-up position, so we do floor to standing, floor to standing. Into the press-up position, stretch out through the abs by dropping the hips and lifting the hips to push the heels into the floor. Okay, if you need to, when we come back, so here, exhale twice, then lift the hips if you need to, walk the hands back slightly, and in, and that optional press-up. And again, 2 exhales, lift the hips, into this downward dog or pike, whatever you want to call it, 2 exhales, and press up. Make sure you're doing this again, everything's in line, okay? So your head's between the arms here, so you're not looking forwards, you're not looking underneath, everything's aligned. And the same here. Everything you're looking here, not up or down. Head, neck and spine all in line. And rest. Okay, so this one we're doing our hamstring stretch and reach. So as if you're doing a hamstring stretch, we're literally, as we're doing a warm-up, reach down, reach up, all in one move. So step, front leg locked out, reach, and reach. Same on the other side. So this time we're stretching out through the back of the thighs. And a big stretch at the top through the abs, okay? So stretch. Reach down, scoop up, change legs. Take it nice and slow when you go down, okay? Reach, scoop it up. So exhale as we go down. Inhale as you come up. Exhale at the top. So reach. And rest. So we're going back down into our prone position or press-up positions. This time we're doing that hip stretch. So this time you're going to get your leg underneath you to 90 degrees. Okay, so lying in a press-up position, leg out to 90 degrees. So from here, sinking down, leg to 90 degrees, sinking down, big stretch through the hips. Exhale twice, come up. Again, you don't need to do this press up. And across. So again, you're just trying to tweak your body position to find the best stretch for your hips here. It's a really nice stretch. Okay, don't need to do these press-ups. And rest. So standing back up. So this time we're going to do this wide squat. Okay, so wide stance, stretch down, exhale twice, drop the hips, reach with the hands, stand up to squat, then back round again. So at the bottom of the move, exhale twice. And drop the hips, look up, push the hands back, stand up. Okay, drop twice. drop, look, push the hands back as you come up. Every time you exhale, try and go a little bit deeper. Drop, remember to look up before you stand up. So it drops your hips and brings your back to flat. Look, push. Drop, look, reach. Keep pushing those hands back as you stand up. Always finish the move. Okay, now we're back into this pigeon pose, or racing pigeon pose as we call it in this. It's like a pigeon pose, just quicker. Okay, so this time we want to get the knee right underneath the chest. Okay, so this way, hit the glutes. Again, breathe twice. That optional press up, and then switch sides. So you should be getting a stretch right in here. Great stretch. Back underneath. Again, just find tweak your body position. I find if I push my leg further back, I get a better stretch. If I stay up, I get a better stretch than rather than being down here. Change. So just play around with your own body position, find out what works best for you. And the more I bring this back leg towards the stretch, the better the stretch I get as well. Good. So if I bring that knee across, really gets it. Finish the stretch. And rest. That's good. That's once. We'll do exactly the same again, okay? So like I said, this is more the mobility version rather than the ones we did the last couple of weeks, stretchy versions. Stretchy? Stretch versions. So we go around again, and actually by the third time, some of these stretches you should find really difficult to get. So on the first one, you're a little bit tense and a bit tight. You get the stretches straight away, because your muscles are all tense. By the time you do the third one, ideally, you should be having to tweak your body position more just to find the right position to get the decent stretch. So it's just all about those little tweaks, like moving the legs, moving your body position, just to get it where it really, really gets into what we're trying to stretch. So our first one, we're going back into our press-up position, step and reach. Remember, these are the two parts. When you step, you push the hips into the floor to stretch out through the groin, and then reach up to stretch out through the upper body and through the lower back here. Okay. Okay, so let's go. A good strong press-up position. Step, push the hips into the floor, reach, exhale twice. And chase. Again, you don't need to do these press-ups. Step, hips into the floor. And change. Oh, that sun's lovely. And rest. As always, we go from the floor to standing. This one we do our lunge and reach. And do put the knee down on this. Don't worry about doing the strength training. Put the knee down so it really emphasises this stretch. Stretching your hip flexors is so important. So reach up as high as you can with this arm, so you're long as possible on one side. And come up and change. Remember on this one, stay upright, okay? Don't try and lean back, stay upright. Just push the hips through, squeeze the glutes on this side. So squeeze this side. Remember, all the stretches in here, not in your quads. Did you get it right? Finish the move. And stretch out. So again, should be trying to loosen off here. Should feel much better. And the lower back from our first one. So back down to the floor, into the press-up position, stretching out through the abs, exhale twice, then lift the hips, stretching out through the back of the legs, exhale twice. Let's go. So ab stretch first. Make sure you're stretching here, not compressing here, okay? Again, exhale twice, bottom, so here, and here. So again, hit 2 body parts, through the abs, and through the back of the, you should feel this through the back of the knees as well. Push the heels into the floor. And rest. So back on our feet. Then our hamstring stretch and reach. So remember, this is that normal hamstring stretch. All you're going to do is breathe out as we go down. In as you come up. And breathe out at the top. So go from the front, reach. Scoop it up. That's good. Make sure this front leg's locked out so you've got something for your hamstrings to stretch over. Front leg nice and straight. Scoop it up. And rest there. So 2 more in this set. So back down into our lying position, in our prone position. So this time bring the knee to 90 degrees. So it's 3 more. 90 degrees, so we're stretching out the hips, okay? So don't bring it up higher, otherwise it moves the stretch into your glutes. So 90 degrees. So from here, again, this is the one where you mess around with your body position. Move forward, backwards, side to side. Lift the hips, drop the hips. Find that sweet spot. Two exhales. Really sink into it. Finish the move. And back up we go. So our next one is that wide stance. Remember, stretching out through the hamstrings. Exhale twice at the bottom. Drop the hips, reach, squat. There you go. 1, 2, drop, look ahead, reach and squat. Round. Yeah, look up or look ahead. Keep pushing those hands back as you come up. Really helps. That's good. The emphasis is on that push back, and here when we do the stretch. That's great. And rest. So the last one in this set, our second one, we're doing this racing pigeon pose. So remember this time we're getting your knee up as high as possible and right up underneath the chest. So again, find out which one works best for you. If you're staying up, bring the leg across. Or lying down. The biggest tweak for me is bringing this knee cross towards the stretch, the back knee towards the stretch. And I don't even have to move my upper body. So I've got 2 exhales. Shift that knee across, really get that stretch, it's great. Finish the move. And rest. Right. That's 2 down. We're going to do this once more if you have the time. So again, same principle, those 2 exhales at the stretch points. Okay, you don't have to keep pace with me. Okay, just do the whole minute at your own pace. Most of us should play some music, but one, we can't share it if you play music. And secondly, you might not like my music. You can play your own whale song while you do this. Okay, so go through the thing once more. So maybe we're going to start with our press up position, step and reach, stretching out through the groin, with the upper body and the lower back. So let's go. Here, step, push the hips into the floor, reach, look at the hand, and change sides. Get blinded when we face that way. I'm not complaining, huh? Finish the move. That's good. So we're back to our hip flexor stretch, our reverse lunge and reach. Remember to push the hips through at the bottom of the move and squeeze the glutes on the same side that the knee's down. You just squeeze this side, you'll feel this tighten up more, you stretch it more. It'll be as long as possible on this side. Really reach up. The higher you reach, the more of a stretch you'll get again. So all it is just about elongating all these muscle fibres, or here, elongating this hip flexor. Big stretch up, pushing the hips through, stay upright, don't lean back. And rest. Good, so our next one, back down to the floor, bit of floor work, stretching out through the abs, stretching out through the back of the legs, dropping the hips, lifting the hips. So start off here. If you feel a squash in your lower back, put the elbows down, okay? So if you're compressing down here, put the elbows down. It will stop you from overarching. Yep. Maybe you're trying to stretch out through the abs here. And then through the back of the thighs here, particularly the back of the knees. Again, I walk my hands back just so I can get the heels further into the floor. Finish the move. And rest. So back on our feet, doing our hamstring stretch and reach. Dog's looking all forlorn, she wants to come out in the sun. So reach, and reach up. So remember, the emphasis is on the hamstring stretch. So if you need to, sink back a little bit more as you go down. So sink back. And you'll feel more of a pull on the back of the thighs. Sink back. And reach up. So you're trying to push your backside back that way. Sink. That's better. And reach. One more. Excellent. And our next one, back to the floor. So we're doing our hip stretch. So remember, the thigh just comes up to 90 degrees. Not too high so it doesn't go to the glutes, all in the hips. So from here, reach across. Yeah, mess around with your body position. This is great, so I can hardly get this stretch now. Which is essentially what we're trying to do. On this side I can, still just. The other side. Oh, got it that time, just. Oh, this is great. Get the sweat on doing BOGA. That hasn't happened for a while. Well, not outdoors anyway. So 2 left in our little session this morning, or this afternoon. So our hamstring, so wide stance, stretching out through the hamstrings. And if you're in this stance, make sure your feet and knees are still aligned, so not pointing forwards. And a drop, look ahead, push the hands back. And drop, look ahead, push, 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 push. Every time we exhale, try and reach a bit further. In this position. Drop, look ahead, push back, push back. That's great. Drop, look ahead. Excellent work. One more. And rest. Brilliant. And then to finish it all off, our racing pigeon pose. Remember, bring the knees up as high as you can underneath the chest. Okay, mess around with your body position, moving the back leg in and out will help. So from here, knee under, some back. Move that leg across, that's great. So right here. And those 2 exhales, going to do one more on this side. Finish the move. And rest. We're done. So the only thing I want you to do on here is one thing we haven't really done on any of this is do your quad stretch. So just to finish this off. Just stretch out the quads. And to push the hips through, push the foot into the hand. Try and relax your hip flexors, okay? So you are stretching the front of your thigh this time, not here. Just push the hips through, push the foot into the hand. And same on the other side. And relax there. Great stuff, hope you enjoyed that. Have a nice weekend, have a nice Friday, then have a nice weekend. And if you do the Saturday session, we're going to go for the good old boff wholeness. We're going to do some blockbusters tomorrow here in our boff studio. So last little treat, our last Saturday session online, we'll go for the good old boff wholeness blockbusters. So hopefully see you tomorrow morning. Have a good day, guys, folks. Have a good one. Bye.